Happy Jobs Day, everybody.
When you get to the microphone, can you just start by telling us your perception of what the job numbers mean?
Sure, thanks. And hi, I'm Kevin Hassett, Director of National Economic Council. I guess most of you know that. I see some new faces. It's nice to be here. Yeah, I thought that it was a really, really impressive jobs report. That in the Biden administration, there were some strong jobs numbers that were based on government employment, especially federal government employment. Over the last couple of years, about 25% of the job creation was government workers. And President Trump has made it clear that he wants to reduce spending on unproductive government workers, since we saw a reduction in federal employment of about 10,000 workers. Despite that, we had a pretty strong jobs report, and the jobs report was especially strong for manufacturing. So we created 10,000 manufacturing jobs in February. And to compare that to the Biden administration, 111,000 manufacturing jobs were destroyed last year, and 10,000 were created in February. 9,000 of those were auto jobs, which are a key focus of the president. You could ask yourself, well, why were those jobs created here in the U.S.? Well, it's because people are wary of what might happen with tariffs in the future, and they're already onshoring American production. And it's not just auto workers, and this is not the first report that's going to look like this. I think the DOGE cuts wouldn't have shown up in the jobs report very much yet. One of the things about these jobs reports, remember, is that they survey them in 1 week and then call that the data for the month. And the survey week was in kind of the beginning of February. And so I don't think that we would see much of these cuts in that report. And I think that you'll see bigger reductions in federal government employment in the next report.
On tariffs, China has signaled it's open to talking. Is that something the administration is willing to do?
Right. Yeah, the president is always willing to talk. I think that what's going on right now, right, is that we've got a drug war. The president is adamant that we reduce fentanyl deaths in the U.S. We've made an enormous amount of progress with Canada and with Mexico. Some people have said, "Oh, geez, it looks like there's some disorder because you're changing the parameters." But that's what negotiations are. That you say, "Hey, if you do this, if you do that, then I'll move the parameters because we'll show that we're making progress." And so the Canadians and the Mexicans have made a lot of progress, and that's why we've revised the tariff schedules along the way, because this is a drug war. The Chinese have not, and that's why the tariff on the Chinese production has gone up.
What do you think of their products?
I don't think that there's going to be a heck of a lot of uncertainty. I think that the fentanyl war we're going to make a huge amount of progress on, and that'll be resolved hopefully by April. And then on April 1st or April 2nd, we'll announce what our reciprocal tariffs are, and at that point, uncertainty will be mostly resolved.
Can I ask you?
Over here? Yeah.
The president just posted on Truth Social he's strongly considering big sanctions on Russian banking, maybe also tariffs to drive them to the negotiating table for a ceasefire and peace agreement. What levers haven't been pulled yet? What companies could be in the crosshairs? Give us some details on what he's looking at.
President Trump is adamant that we need to get everybody to the table, and we could do that with carrots, and we could do that with sticks, and he's talking to everybody, and he's got a whole litany of potential proposals that he could throw their way to get them to the table. But the bottom line is the president wants to stop the carnage. He wants to save lives, and he wants to end the war, and he's doing everything he can to talk people into going to the table and trying to do that. And exactly how they do it with carrots or sticks is something that's a work in progress, and it's Marco Rubio and the president are working on that every day.
Kevin.